If we're being honest, this season has just been absolutely terrible for the Portland Trailblazers. After coming off a season where their star player in Damian Lillard was rumored to leave just as much as any previous offseason, the Blazers have not improved and they have actually regressed, as they have gone from a team that was in the playoffs comfortably to a team that is 8 games below 500 and the 10th seed in the Western Conference. To be fair, most of this is due to the fact that they had a crazy amount of injuries, but nonetheless, this whole season has just been a whole negative. But if there is one bright spot to come out of the season for the Blazers, it has to be the fact that their young guard in Anfernee has broken out and showed that he can actually be a star level player in the NBA. He's been showing how good he can actually be. This is absolutely fantastic, and it has led me to make this video where I'll just be talking about how Anfernee has been playing his game, how he's doing it, and how good of a player I think he can be going into the future. But before we get into the video, I ask you to drop a like on this video as it does help my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel if you want daily NBA content. Also, if you want to help me grow 3,000 subscribers. Also, drop a comment as I do respond to all of my comments, and play that at draw. The first thing that stands out to me about Simon's game is how big of an improvement he's made from this year to last year. Last season, Simons was like an average backup guard, as he averaged like 8 points, and he did shoot an impressive over 40% from 3. But so far this season, he's been averaging 15 points, shooting 44% from the field and 39% from 3. And you might be like thinking, oh, he's just averaging 15 points. Why are you so confident he's going to be a star player? Many other guards in the league can do that and have done that. But the reason Anfernee is for sure going to be a star, in my opinion, is due to the fact that if you actually didn't know, Simons was actually coming off the bench for most of this season. But just recently, it was announced that Damian Lillard is going to be missing a lot of time. That has moved Simons up to the starting position. And in 11 games Simons has started without Damian Lillard, Simons has gone absolutely crazy, as he's averaging 22.7 assists, shooting 48% from the field and 40% from 3. And 11 games is not a crazy small sample size. It's not like it's just been 3 or 4 games. 11 games is a decent amount of games. I'm not saying it's the perfect sample size, but it's better than most. I would say it's definitely not a small sample size. And if you look even closer into what Simons has been averaging ever since the year has started, 2022, this guy's been putting up 26 points, 8 assists, shooting 50% from the field and 42% from 3. And I'm aware these aren't like the sample size of like 20 games or so, but Simons is truly a player who I think can play at this level, put at this level of production on a consistent basis if he's given a starting role and given the freedom to run the offense like he has been without Damian Lillard. And simply, it's just unfortunate that he was drafted to the Portland Trailblazers, because I generally think if he was on a team like that would give him the starting role and let him experiment, he would be considered in the top tier of young guards like Jamal Murray, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, De'Aaron Fox, all of those guys. I'm not saying he would have been like better, maybe he would have, I don't know. But since he's on Portland, he hasn't even been looked at like that at all. He's just been viewed like an average NBA player. There's no hype for him. But now I know he's gonna definitely be getting that hype, and he definitely deserves it with the way he's been playing. But to be honest, we have seen a lot of players go on hot stretches, scoring like 20 points in like a 10-game stretch, and we don't immediately call them future all-stars. But the thing that makes Simons so great is the fact that this guy has the skill to be an all-star level player. The most impressive thing is definitely his jump shot, which already at his young age is elite, as over the last 2 years he's been a 40% three-point shooter on 5 attempts, which is very good. Also, when you realize, especially this season, Simons hasn't just been shooting catch and shoot 3-pointers. He's been a guy who's been taking contested threes, off the dribble threes, pull-up threes, any type of difficult threes you could think of, as he's only assisted on 64% of his threes, which isn't a crazy amount. Simons has been knocking it down at a consistent and borderline elite level when you like look at like the difficulty of the shots he's taking. That's definitely something that's going to help him become a star, because when you look at the top 10 point guards in the league, basically all of them shoot at an elite level. Guys like Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving, Chris Paul, literally all of them except like John Morant. I don't consider Russell Westbrook a top 10 point guard anymore, by the way, but nonetheless, he's a really good 3-point shooter. He's actually one of the best mid-range shooters in the league, as he shoots 45% in the mid-range area, which is borderline elite. Guys like Chris Paul, Kevin Durant shoot around that same percentage. I'm not saying Simons shoots better than them because he doesn't shoot it as much, but I'm just saying he is a good mid-range shooter. That's something he can go to. Another impressive part about his game is just the fact that he has very elite handles. He's not a point guard who just relies on one move, like one hesitation or a crossover. He has every type of crossover in the book, every type of hesitation in the book. He has very good handles. He definitely has good enough handles to be a star. He has better handles than Russell Westbrook, if you ask me. His handles are good enough to break down the defender, create open shots off the dribble for himself. He's always confident with his dribble. He also doesn't over dribble. He usually uses his handle to create open shots for him. If I had to talk about one weakness with him, it's the fact that although he is very athletic, and I mean like very athletic, we all know how he did in the dunk contest last season. I'm pretty sure he even won it, but even though he's really athletic, he's not that good of a finisher. And that's something he definitely has to work on because he's only shooting 55% at the rim, which is below average by like a significant margin. I think he's going to probably have to get a little bit stronger because he struggles finishing at contact. But when it comes to his jump shooting, he's just great. And to be honest, I can't knock him too much for not being a great finisher because overall he's still a very efficient player overall. But if he could get that finishing down pat to be even just an average finisher, that will be the thing that will truly bring him to the next level. But regardless, he's still been averaging 27 points in 2022. Another weakness about his game might be his passing, but since 2022, he's shown that he can actually be a pretty good passer. He's been averaging like 7. So honestly, that might not be too big of a concern. But I should also mention that Simons is a 6'3" point guard, which isn't crazy tall for a point guard, but it is like the perfect size for a point guard, meaning he can always play that position. And I actually think he can play the shooting guard position. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how good his defense is. If any Blazers fans could tell me that, I'd actually appreciate that because I'm not good at evaluating defense. Also, when you realize that Simons is playing this great at only the age 22, it honestly makes you excited for what he can improve on in the future. And the fact that he's already good at this young of an age is actually truly scary. I definitely think he's going to be great. When you just look at his age, absolutely amazing. I think he's someone you can build around. But to talk about how good I think Simons can be, if I'm being honest, I genuinely think he has the potential to be one of the best point guards in the league. I think he could be a top 5 point guard in the league. I don't know if he could be a top 10 player in the league. I guess we'll have to see about that. But I genuinely think his ceiling is someone very similar to a guy like his teammate, even Damian Lillard, meaning like he could be a top 15 player. Not saying they play entirely the same, although they kind of do with the pull-up three-pointers, the shifty handles and stuff. But I think he could be like a top player in the league if he's given a chance to. But I think if the Blazers actually want to see him reach his full potential, they have to do some moves that would allow him to start full time. I think Simons is capable of being a guy who can average like 25 points, 6 assists. He can shoot over 40% from 3, and I think he has the potential to be better than guys like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, De'Aaron Fox, maybe even Darius Garland. I'm not like trying to compare them and put them down. They're all great players, but I think he could be on the level at least, and he has the potential because his athleticism was what sets him apart, and he's a better three-point shooter than all those guys. But nonetheless, I don't know if he'll be on the level of guys like Ja Morant, Luka Doncic, Trae Young. Those are the 3 like elite young point guards coming into the league, but we'll have to see. I definitely think he can be in that tier below those guys. I think I already said this, but he's a guy who I think you could like make a whole rebuild around and make him the new guy to build your roster around. And maybe the Blazers won't be this good this season, and I think they should just get a high lottery pick and just try and put another star player alongside Anfernee, because I truly think he is that good. If I'm being honest, I always knew he had the potential to be good, but I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think he would be this good, and it was kind of hard for him to be good when you're playing behind Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. He was always gonna be delegated to the bench, but now he's showing how good he could truly be, and it's just inspirational. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Let me know how good you think Anfernee Simons can be. Drop a like on this video to help my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel if you want daily NBA content. Also, join us when we go of 3,000 subscribers. Also, drop a comment on this video as I do respond to all of my comments. And I'm out.